U.S. Customs and Border Protection says that in July, arrests of people illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexico border were the lowest they've been in nearly 4 years. It comes after the Biden administration imposed new rules intended to encourage migrants to use legal pathways to seek asylum. There's even an app for that. But as Gustavo Solis of KPBS in San Diego reports, the app isn't always helping the most vulnerable migrants.
Migrants will be restricted from receiving asylum at our southern border unless they seek it after entering through an established lawful process.
When President Joe Biden announced the new restrictions in June, he said asylum seekers should use existing legal pathways to enter the United States.
And those who seek to come to the United States legally, for example, by making an appointment and coming to a port of entry, asylum will still be available to them.
Make an appointment. Sounds easy, and it is, at least in theory. All you have to do is download the CBP One app on your smartphone, fill out the application, and schedule an appointment. But in practice?
The app is famously glitchy. In preparing for this interview, I tried to use the app. I downloaded the app and I tried to make an appointment, and it glitched out.
That is Jeremy Young. He's an attorney with Al Otro Lado, a nonprofit law firm that represents migrants with asylum claims. And Young says that CBP One has bigger problems than just being glitchy.
Not everyone has a smartphone.
Migrants without smartphones cannot get appointments. Also, the app only comes in 3 languages, so good luck if you do not speak English, Spanish, or Haitian Creole. And using the app is practically impossible for migrants with certain disabilities. For example, people who are blind.
What the app does effectively is it precludes these people from the asylum process.
The app's biggest problem might be that demand heavily outweighs supply. There are only 1,450 CBP One appointments available every day, but tens of thousands of migrants trying to get one.
What you're doing is you're funneling everyone into one line, and the line is already longer than any line you've ever seen in your life.
President Biden's executive actions do not increase the number of CBP One appointments. Already, the average wait time in Tijuana is 7 months, and local officials worry that shelters will overflow with people waiting for appointments.
Llevo ya casi 6 meses.
Jasmine, an asylum seeker from Mexico, says that the long wait times are taking a toll on everyone's mental health.
Aquí en los albergues,
there's a lot of anxiety and depression here in the shelters, especially among the women and children.
She says that a lot of the women and children in the shelter are depressed and anxious. Some of the women are experiencing hair loss.
Pero sí es frustrante.
Yes, it's frustrating. Several mothers here are going bald, the ones who've waited here 5 or 6 months.
Maria, a woman traveling with her 2 teenage sons, started to cry when asked her how long she had been waiting.
No. Es mucho tiempo esperar.
It's been such a long time to wait. We're fleeing because of organized crime back home.
Maria says she decided to flee her home in the Mexican state of Michoacán after a local drug cartel burned her business to the ground and tried to recruit her sons. She doesn't feel safe in Tijuana. Maria has tried to request asylum in person at the legal border crossings, but every time, Border Patrol agents just keep turning her back, telling her to use the CBP One app.
Pues nos dicen que tenemos que pasar.
They say that we have to cross legally. But what do we do if there are no legal options available?
Maria says she wants to follow the legal process, but she's starting to lose hope. And she's not alone. Officials in Tijuana say CBP One's long wait times actually contribute to illegal crossings. Enrique Lucero is head of Tijuana's Migrant Affairs Department. He says roughly 1/3 of migrants who cross the border illegally only do so after they try to schedule CBP One appointments.
Y ellos llegan con mucho estrés postraumático, con psicosis.
They come in with a lot of post-traumatic stress. They want to come across as quickly as possible because they believe that whatever they're fleeing will follow them to Tijuana.
He says migrants lose hope after waiting several months. Lucero believes that forcing more migrants to use the app without increasing the number of appointments could intensify the crisis that Biden says he's trying to solve.
If you're going to impose these new rules, then you should increase the number of CBP One appointments, right?
In June, several immigrant advocacy groups filed a lawsuit to block the new rules. For PBS News Weekend, I'm Gustavo Solis in Tijuana.